to accept the application, set it for public hearing, and then at appropriate meeting, you would put it up for a vote. We'd have to advertise it like we do our ordinances and any other ordinance, and then it would be, I think we have to give 15 days notice for the public hearing, and then we'll have to advertise it the same number of days we do for an ordinance, and then it would be ripe to put up for vote by the council.
Okay, we're not going to get into a long discussion, but we will, but it wasn't quick. If, for the brief, if it's very brief.
Why in the world do we have a planning commission if they ain't gonna go by what they say?
It's not, it's the technicality, Terry. The planning commission doesn't make the ordinances. The council is the one that has to do it.
Why do you run it by them and they deny it?
Because most things are simple and small and can be addressed at a planning board, and a planning board or board of adjustment has authority to do those things, and you wouldn't want to tie the council meetings down with all of those type of requests that are handled at those boards.
Let the planning board handle it. That's what I'm saying.
I think we have a technical procedure matter that we're having to go by the rules. That's all that we have done tonight. So there's nothing that's happened after Thursday night. Okay, I said we're not going to get into a disputing.
He made a statement to me on the telephone that land was, they had a contract on the land, correct?
So,
And they wasn't gonna purchase that land if the planning board didn't rezone it. That was his words to me.
okay,
And now I think he
okay,
said,
okay. We're not, I have not, we're not going to go any further. Y'all have heard that Mr. Betbees came before the council. You heard Jay say what we've got to do. Is there any action from the council being requested?
So Jay, what you're saying is that by law, he has the right to come and ask us to do that?
Yeah, the council would have had to make, or has to make this decision anyway, regardless of what the planning board's recommendation is.
But when-
The process is for any zoning change to come to the planning commission first.
But normally, whenever we turn something down from the planning commission, it don't never come to the city.
Because there wasn't a request to change it.
So only because of his request,
The
what now?
citizen could come forward. He has that right. They just haven't done it.
they just,
If it's a zoning change.
because
and
I
this-
know, back, we, rejected another company
Well,
coming.
They have a right to come and
And
request
just
it to be
because
heard.
Mr. Betbees didn't come then and ask for that, he could have then, I guess.
He could have come. And he's exercised that right. So we have to make a decision, yes or no, or we're gonna make a change. If we think we're gonna make a change or possibly wanna make a change, and you can ask for an advisory opinion from the public by having the public meeting. You're not bound by, it's just another process. And then, to answer your question, why do you go to the planning board meeting to start with? You have to by law. That's the only way you can do it.
but I mean, if they give you tell you and they advise you what it is, and you're not gonna listen to them, why are you having it?
So are we gonna,
That's just the way the law is set up.
I'll make a motion when we get down to I, or do I need to do it now?
You can do it now, and we'll take it off.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the application and set a public hearing, at least 15 days from now
And then,
Then you,
to hear public opinion.
we're going to have to, you'd have to make it,
Oh, go ahead and do it, all right.
So if he can ask, if he by law can ask for that, why do we need a motion?
no,
Just to set the public hearing?
no, you can do one of two things. If you're not gonna vote on it, you don't have to set a public hearing if you're not gonna grant or chess. If you wanna hear and decide later, then you have to set a public hearing, because you might change it or you might not. You're not bound to change it. But if you're gonna have if it's not an absolute denial, then you have to set a public hearing.
Tuesday the 27th?
We're scheduled, unless I'm mistaken, the graduation is the 20th. We backed our meeting up to the 19th, I think.
That's right.
And then the 27th, but that wouldn't give you time, that wouldn't give a required time, so you couldn't do it. You'd have to move it to June, which would be June 3rd, is the only way that
15 days?
I know that
You can do it
adequately post
longer, you don't have to do it within a certain time, you have a minimum of.
That's the minimum you could do,
Is it business days or?
yes.
Oh,
It's
business
totally-
days. I got you, okay.
You can only,
You can pick another date past that.
you would have to move it to June, you could
June
not get
3rd
it.
then. What time? June 3rd? 5:15? Are y'all good with 5:15 or is that too soon? 5:15? The 3rd? Yes.
Okay, what you have on the floor, if my wording is right, on a request by Mr. Betby's, he is requesting the same property that was heard last Thursday night at the Planning Commission to be rezoned. There was a denial, but he is requesting the council to hear the matter. And on a motion made by Ms. Reese to schedule the public hearing for 6:15 PM on the night of June the 3rd.
5:15.
5:15 on June the 3rd. That's what she has on the floor. Will there be a second?
To have a public
Before.
hearing?
Okay.
Don't y'all have the right to reject this now instead of going through all this again? Don't y'all have that right?
If nobody gives me a second, then yes, it will be dead. Well, that's why I'd like to hear the. Thank you.
Right. I think you're talking about beating a dead horse. I'm telling you, Ms. Reese put a motion on the floor. Now I'm asking, is there a second from the council for that? It's going. Ms. Reese, it looks like your motion will die for the lack of a second,
Okay.
so it won't be heard. Okay.
But now we have to reject the.
Okay, now, that should address that matter. One quick question, Mr. Betby, but
So that means they refuse to hear, anything regarding it. The city council has refused our request for a hearing, so this matter is dead as far as this particular application is concerned.
As a practical matter, it is, but I do think we need to vote that we're not going to make the change.
well, now we need, okay, on a motion made on the recommendation of our attorney, is there going to be a motion made to deny the
I'll
request?
make the motion to deny the request from Mr. Betby's.
A motion was made to deny the request of Mr. Betby's for rezoning of the said property on Baldwin Road. The motion was seconded, made by Mr. Little, seconded by Mr. Butler. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Noes opposed to it. Okay, let it show that the motion failed. There will not be a public hearing, Mr. Betby's. Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else that would like to come before the council tonight to discuss any business? Mr. Blett, you want to come up? We got on the National Safe Boating Week. Got a gentleman here who wears a lot of hats, pretty well known through the state. If you would, I'd like for you to introduce yourself to the council. I don't know if some of them have met you or not.
Mr. Mayor, good evening. Council members, good evening. My name is Eric Beck. I'm the 2025 Commander, 3rd Division, 8th Coastal District of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. We have petitioned the City Council of Satsuma, as well as the Mayor's Office, for a proclamation or resolution in support of the 2025 National Safe Boating Week campaign. Any number of citizens of Satsuma enjoy fishing, hunting, boating, and any number of activities on the navigable waters of the United States of America. And we want to make sure that we are putting the word out, safe boating. Get out there, boat safely, boat smart, come home safe, get a float plan, make sure the folk know where you are, wear personal flotation devices, have a couple of different ways of communication, so in case your cell phone gets wet, you have a VHF radio, things of that nature. So the Satsuma City Council has been very supportive of the National Safe Boating Week campaign for the last few years. And I thank Mayor Barlow for inviting me this evening to speak before you. And I thank you all for the proclamation that I've been told that you all are going to draft and present for this year's campaign.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. Yes, the council has, and we've tried to have a couple of boating courses and things for the young people. And I don't think that some of the people who go around the water realize just how many young people we have out here on the weekends. And what do we have, 60-something boats that registered in the tournament Saturday? I think it was it was a lot just for our young anglers tournament. Even with the weather we had, it was a real success. But we have a lot of young people, and we really do support that, and we appreciate what you do and on all the different hats you wear around. So thank you for coming, and we'll have the proclamation to y'all, and you're welcome anytime we meet, Mr.
Thank
Beck.
you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay, I think now we can go back to our regular order tonight, and we got a lot of small things on the agenda, but I think we can go through them rather fast. If there's no one else to come before the council tonight, we will go into reports, announcements from the mayor and council. I'll start on the mayor's report tonight. Most of these things we've either already addressed or will come back up later on under items for discussion and or resolutions and ordinances. So I'm just going to kind of speed through. We've had some recent deaths from some of our longtime citizens. Y'all know Miss Henderson. Lord, that family's been here for a long time. It's passed away, and her service was held. Miss Adcock also had a service last weekend. Miss Stokes, who was a resident of Satsuma for many years, and I think worked at Robert E. Lee School for over 20 years over there. Her service was a few days ago. So if you see any of those families, give condolences. And also, we sent a little plant to the family of retired police officer Norman Burford. I know he retired either corporal or sergeant, but he's served well over 20 years here with our department. And his funeral was this past Monday, and a couple of us were able to make it out there and give condolences to the families. The road paving pre-construction meeting was held last Thursday, or Thursday was a week ago. The paving is scheduled to start on the I-65 service road, South Oak, West Oak, Regina, on Monday, May the 19th, by Pine City Paving. Looking forward to that. Also, the ALDOT gave the authorization to proceed on to Civil Southeast regarding the upcoming sidewalk project, which we hope will be ready for bid here within the next month or so. Would like for you to put on your calendars, if you don't have anything, the Educational Scholarship Dinner that's sponsored by the Chickasaw Saraland Satsuma Education Fund, our foundation, will be held Thursday night at Steel Creek Lodge at 5:30. There was still some reservations were still available if anybody would like to attend. I would encourage you to do that. The boys' luncheon and the girls' tea for the graduates are scheduled for next Tuesday, the 13th. Hopefully some of y'all can make either the boys' dinner or the girls to be held next door at the library. Remember that we have the Memorial Day celebration, our ceremony that we have every year, and it's weather permitting. We went 3 years with great weather for that, and we've had rain on the last couple of events. But Memorial Day celebration scheduled for 9 a.m. on Monday the 26th Also, remember that the city hall will be closed that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, so you don't schedule anything or wonder what's going on. Like I said, there's numerous other things, but I feel like they'll be addressed, and just rather than repeating ourselves, we'll move on. So, moving from the mayor's report to public services, Mr. Little.
Mayor, I had a sanitation report, but just general maintenance there. I'm ready to move on. Thank you.
Sure. Moving from public services to public safety, Mr. Butler.
Okay. For the month of April, this is for the, police department, for the, services. For the calls of service, we had 567 calls. Felony cases, we had 5. Felony arrest, we had 6. Misdemeanor cases, 82. Misdemeanor arrest, 24. Traffic accidents, we had 2. Traffic citation was 52. Traffic warning citation was 83. Municipal ordinance citation was 5. For the calls for the purpose, for service previous month, we had 549 calls. And for calls for service this month, last year was 757 calls. So, you know, it cost a lot more last time, so that's doing better. And for the fire department, for the month of April, we had emergent medical calls, we had 59. Fire-related calls, 1. Stretch-chute fire was none. Gas, grass, or woods, we had 1. Motor vehicle fire, none. Motor vehicle accidents, none. Mutual aid given, none. Mutual aid received, none. Automatic mutual aid given was none. For other calls, we had 5. And for hazardous materials incidents, we had 1. Water rescue in a boat was none. Overlapping calls, none. False fire alarms was none. And false medical alarms, we had 6. And for the calls of service for that month was 74 calls. And I don't have anything else for the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. Just a reminder, if y'all would, please speak into the mic, because every week we have somebody call or after every meeting saying they cannot hear what's being said. So I don't know what else to do. We've replaced the system and all, but please try to speak to the mic. Thank you, Mr. Butler. Moving from public safety to administration, and Mr. Skelton.
So, last but not least, Mr. Colton Jones, one of our student council representatives from the school, is going to give us a little update on what they got going on the next couple of weeks. Thank you, sir. That's all we have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Jason. You said that's all. Parks and Recreation, Ms. Reese.
I don't have anything at this time.
You're moving fast all of a sudden. Public Works, Mr. Phillips.
Mayor, as usual, this time of year, the Public Works has been busy cutting grass and weed eating it every day. We've also been cleaning out ditches, repairing manholes. There's been one on, I lost my place here. On Powers Road, they've been repairing it right there. We removed a fallen tree from Baker Road. Completed the annual bridge inspections, was completed by SafeSpan, so that's good that we're through with that. We've also been doing asphalt repairs on several of the roads. the leaf vac's back up and running and, doing a good job now. I mean, it was down for about a week. We also ran the wood chipper. And that's about all I got, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Phillips. Sure, no problem. At the request of Mr. Little, I think it's fine. We can go and, I think, clear up a few things and let some of y'all go. Some of the other stuff is just routine things that we're going to be into tonight, but moving down to, Resolution 2025-05-06, and that's closing the 1 cent bank account. That was the diesel tax that had been put in. They recommended that we close that when we went to get our bond ratings. And that's the purpose in doing that for the bond. Can I get a
Make that motion, Mayor.
motion made,
Second.
made by Mr. Little and seconded by Mr. Phillips to put Resolution 2025-05-06 up for immediate closing of the bank, the 1 cent bank account up for immediate adoption. That's what it is. I guess we got to suspend the rules.
Not on that one.
Okay, okay. On a motion made and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next one is related to the same thing, Resolution 2025-05-07, closing bank account number 2009 for the bond fund.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Ms. Reese. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, okay, let me show it passed unanimous. I don't think there's anything else that we would have to do with y'all, Bob, tonight, is there? On the ordinance on the back, on the general fund obligation warrant, that's the ordinance, 566. Okay,
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 566.
Second.
Suspend the rules on
I was
that
gonna
one.
say, it's an ordinance.
Make a motion that we suspend the rules and put
Right,
ordinance 566 up for immediate adoption.
Second.
now, on the first thing, on a motion to suspend the rules and put 566 up for immediate general obligation warrant services up. A motion made by Mr. Little and seconded by Mr. Skelton.
Councilmember Little?
Yes.
Councilmember Butler? Councilmember Skelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Reese?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Barlow?
Yes.
Then make
Now-
a motion
right.
to approve ordinance 566.
Second.
Same to Mr. Little and Mr. Skelton seconded, putting 566 up for immediate adoption. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. That's it. Pardon?
Did you say for immediate adoption?
Yeah, put it up for immediate.
For immediate adoption.
That's it. I think so. Appreciate y'all coming out.
Y'all have a
Bob, you
good
got a
evening.
long drive, don't you?
Thank you.
Or you headed back to tonight? Tonight. Thank y'all, men. Y'all be safe on the road. Okay, now returning to the order that we were in. Number 9, items for discussion and/or consideration. A is payment of the bills.
I make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $108,112.83.
So moved.
A motion was made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Ms. Reese to pay the bills in the amount of $108,112.83. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Next is what we have discussed, and this, we like to wait it too long because we could not get the companies, and we kind of had to act on this, but the cleanup day that we were hosting, we had last year, so discussion and consideration of hosting a recycling event, estimated cost to be around $1,600 to be held here at City Hall, the back parking lot. That will be July the 12th, 2025.
I'll put that in the motion.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Phillips, and it was seconded by Mr. Skelton. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
discussion and consideration of the website upgrades with Civic Plus. I'm gonna let Jessica take that if y'all got any questions, but we have discussed for quite a while about upgrades to our website, and I think we've covered a couple of the cities that are using it. The biggest one I can remember was Orange Beach. That we were really impressed with their website, and
Most of all the paperwork's there. Jackie can't really update it any farther. This is the company that she recommended. It does come with extra things like, the notify me is on here, so you can notify all the citizens. If they sign up for it, it'll go out massively. I mean, a lot of cities already have Civic Plus. You don't have to use it for the website. They have other purposes, but, if y'all have any questions, it's all kind of listed right there. And the live video will be automatically on the website as soon as it's done. There will be no link taking you to it. It'll be right there. So there's a lot of different things. I think we like the standard better because the premium would take us about a year to get up and going after you take pictures. Because they would come back in and take all
Could
pictures.
upgrade later, could you? Come up from standard, take it up.
Yeah.
although still a lot of money, it's a lot cheaper than what we had looked at in times past.
Is that a cost per year, $6,200?
Yes, sir.
Thoughts of the council?
I'll make a motion. We're in desperate need of a good website.
Second.
Mr. Phillips made the motion to move forward with the upgrades to the website with Civic Plus. It was seconded by Mr. Skelton. Is there any further discussion from the council?
Is that for the standard package?
Yes. That other one we looked at it was a whole lot.
Yeah, a whole lot more. And we really do need to upgrade. It's time that we do that, so we hadn't spent any money on that.
Okay.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, can I go back to the shred thing really quick? How are we gonna advertise, to the community so people will be aware of what we're providing?
On our new website.
Yeah, well, that's a very good question, and we have asked on the upcoming projects to buy signs to post it. So we'll probably get a banner or two to put at the ends of the city. We'll probably ask Public Works to move the banner to a couple of different locations, get a banner advertising that day and what we will do. And like I said, we can move it periodically or several times and try to remind everybody, and then we'll put it out on the website.
And usually we put it at least on Facebook and the website a couple of times to add it to the top.
I wonder if the school would be willing to put it like on their electronic signs. Maybe, I don't know, if they'll operate during the summer.
We can ask.
Okay.
That's fine, thank you. Okay, at our workshop, we spent quite a bit of time on raises. So when we went to make the agenda, I just had Jessica stop it at consideration of employee raises. We can give, and we, I think financially are okay to give an across-the-board raise, but that's where the night of the workshop kind of went. Do we want to give across the board? Do we want to give a small across the board and look at some merit raises for employees that hadn't had one? Do we want to look at some, ask for reclassifying some of their employees to classified positions and/or perhaps having some type promotional ceremonies? That was mainly police fire. Now, we can do one or two of those things, but we would have a hard time funding all of those. So what is the thoughts of the council? I mean, do we want to go forward now with something that would benefit everybody in a small amount? Do y'all want us to look at identifying the promotions that we're looking at, or the raises for merits that, people that have been here for a while that maybe haven't received the raises that some of the others have?
Can we do 2.5, across the board and then do, like you said, per individual as presented, I guess, from
We
department
could do
heads?
that, and then ask for the department heads to make recommendations on what else they're asking for, but that, especially in police and fire, because there's certain requirements for the personnel board for you to be in certain positions for so long before moving up, and, the qualifications are some require testing. So that's the reason I'm saying we had to identify which route we're going to go in order to move forward. And I'm really not saying what I think is best, because I think there was good conversation. It was nothing, I don't think anybody left mad, but none of us actually came exactly what all of us wanted, so I didn't know how to bring it forward tonight. So are you putting up to go forward tonight with a 2.5% raise? Or, I mean, I'm not opposed to that, and we budgeted for that, and we can do so.
Yeah, because I brought the sheet back that was the, for 58 total employees. Is that what this was, Jessica? And then but 2.5 is not on there. So, but I didn't know if, with the 5, if that was supposed to be 5 for everybody and that was it. But like, so you talked about, do a smaller for everyone and then an additional
That's-
percent per
Yeah,
individual.
those are across on that.
That's 5 for everybody.
Right.
Those numbers are.
But then that wouldn't allow to have the individual, would it? I don't know, somebody else can, I mean,
Well, tonight, when we discussed with the department heads, we were looking at buying equipment, we're buying vehicles, and I'm just saying that doing all of that's gonna stretch it.
Yeah.
Now, if we wanna do 5%, then that's doable, but we're gonna have to limit the number of people we promote and reclassify, and then watch, for our vehicles, or, I think Public Works is asking for another couple zero turns, new ones that are bigger, maybe a little faster, and they need them, but, and all the department heads justified their needs, but, I want to make sure that we,
Before we say anything else, we talked about this 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the first thing I brought up, that the fire and the policemen, we need 10% raises for them. Because we're lower and we need to get raises for everybody. And then we started talking about, everybody else can get raises. And I think everybody should have that. So this is not enough money, really, to be honest with you. Just like in the policemen and the firemen, we're behind with everybody, even though Chickasaw, Mount Vernon and all that. So
you were looking at hiring, we were discussing when we looked at the annual income of our officers, we were not low. None of our officers are at starting. We had one officer at starting pay. The rest of the employees were well above that. So that's, and also like you discussed in the fire department, I mean, several of your fire trucks and all are starting to get some age on them, and we know that just around the corner, we're going to have to look at some of that equipment. And a fire truck and a new knuckle boom truck, which I know Public Works has got to have, 'cause those trucks run 5 and 6 days a week. Those are going to be really expensive items, and, I mean, what's our priorities? That's what I'm saying, is our priorities have got to be what we can afford. Nobody was arguing, there was no argument against any of it, but, we can do some of those things that you want to do, but we can't do all of them. And if we give them a 10% raise, I just can't see how we can identify certain employees to get that much and then leave all the others out, because that's not going to sit well. And traditionally, when the city gives a raise, we wind up giving one at the water board, and also the library comes in behind it. So, I mean, you show me how we can stretch the budget any further. I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying, we all met and we all talked for hours and we got the numbers, so.
I know there was a lot of talk with the starting pay of an officer.
Right.
And I'm looking here, if we go with the 5%, does that mean that'll jump up there to the 1943? Is that what that is?
It looks like it is with the A post.
I think, I'm doing that out of memory, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I think that's what it is with their A post, so yeah.
So do we do?
If they're certified, is
I
that what
was
it
just
is? They're
saying,
already there.
this would get this number here.
Yes, so there are, yeah.
Is that with a 5% raise
So when they finish the class, they'll get it.
from this to that?
Yes, okay.
That's the starting pay.
So any across the board brings,
is
brings
gonna-
your bottom level up every time, and then it, yeah.
Okay, okay. That's kind of what I'd like to recommend just for now, is the 5% straight across, and then we go, you know, as far as deciding later on, you know, that's hard for me to decide for myself, as far as this one, that one, or what.
You wouldn't put that in a motion, Randy?
No, we ain't through discussing yet.
I was just
No, okay.
asking.
I mean, my concern is when we did the budget, we barely made budget. We had to cut items to make budget. And we budgeted a total of 5% this year for a raise, I believe. And we've already done 2.5. I mean, a 5% raise for anybody in a workforce is a pretty good raise a year. And, you know, in my opinion, you should do the 2.5 and match budget, and then do the merit raises.
We didn't do a 2.5.
We did right there at the front,
May,
That was
last May,
That was last budget.
that's last year.
but it wasn't out of last year's budget, was it?
Yeah.
So then we got a full 5% sitting that we budgeted. Okay. Well, say, I just don't wanna go with what we budgeted.
This was the, I don't know if you copy your thing.
Yeah,
Any further
I seen
discussion?
that,
See
but
the 2.5 one, though. That's what I was kind of looking at.
I'll make the motion if y'all done,
do what?
5% across the board.
That's what I was saying, I was letting the discussion
they-
finish. Yes, sir. Okay, regarding item number D, discussion and consideration for employee raises. After council discussion, Mr. Little has made a motion to give a 5% across-the-board raise. Most of the time, we do that at the beginning of the next pay period.
Yeah.
So that
That'll
would be
be fine.
starting to, do you have the date?
Not right in front of me, no.
That's fine. I'll just, and so motion made by Mr. Little giving at the starting of the next pay period and pending personnel board approval, which I know they met today, but we'll get it at the next meeting, I feel certain.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Little and seconded by Ms. Reese. Any further discussion now? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay, I got the rest. Okay, please let the record reflect, Mr. Butler, no vote against that.
And you said that does include the water board and the
No,
library?
no, I said they will ask, the water board will have to vote.
They'll
on
all
it.
ask it.
And I
Or
said-
what?
They'll bring it up now that we give this raise.
That'll be separate.
Oh, well, I would like to include the library. I thought you said they were included.
No, I said that they will be asking for it, but,
Oh, I was
May
advocating for the
May
library.
17th is when the pay period starts. I mean, we can, add it into
we can amend their
a
Their
budget and their
allocation.
appropriations.
Okay,
appropriation at the next meeting if they request it, and I'm sure they will.
okay, thank you.
Discussion and consideration of purchasing a new server for the court. The estimated cost of the server is $6,000, and that would come out of the corrections account, which they have the money for.
So moved.
Motion was made by Mr. Skelton to approve the purchasing of the new server. Did I hear a second, Mr.
I
Phillips?
did.
Mr. Phillips made a second. Any discussion? All of those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed. F, discussion and consideration of approval and amended rental policy for the pavilion at Wright Park. If y'all would like, we can table this because it's quite a bit, and we just got it to you yesterday. Discussion and consideration of approving the rental policy for the Steel Creek Lodge. Both of those are kind of joint, and this has come to us due to some complaints and things that we just hadn't updated those rental agreements in quite some time, and we caught ourselves having some things we felt like needed to be in there. If y'all would like to look over it, I don't see a reason it's got to be.
And I can tell you the things that we changed also.
Right.
On the Wright Park one, all we did was, take out that it has anything to do with the splash pad, because, I guess after 5 years, it was confusing.
So we're not calling it the Splash Pad Pavilion? No, you're changing the name.
To Wright Park, but yeah, I guess it was
Okay.
confusing, and
Do you
Reason
think
being,
there's gonna be,
They think they're renting the splash pad when they rent it.
no, I know,
Yeah.
but is there any plans to make a pavilion? And, cause I think we had a pavilion at Wright Park. I just wanna make sure that no future pavilion that's built is considered, the Wright Park
if we're just introducing them to lay it over, if you get a chance to read it, why don't you just make some notes and,
Yeah, well, I was working on that, yeah.
And then the only thing added to the Still Creek Lodge was, some of the lights and sounds, profanity music, things like that, and, I think we may have highlighted that portion. It was, Rule H.
Let me get there.
we're also trying to do a little better job of explaining to the people and asking them to read the agreements so that we don't have to get there in the middle of a party or something and find out that the facility is being used for something other than what we thought it was being rented for. And we ran into a few of those things, so
You said what's changed?
I think she changed H on it, and it was some of the loud music. But everything else, as far as on Still Creek Lodge, is still the same.
You could probably also put in there after H is that for the future bookings, and if any deposits are paid, they will not be refunded or something like that. Because you hate for them to, like, maybe it'll be a back-to-back or something.
I think she did change that, but I'll check with her and see, because, yeah.
If we can have some time with this one, and then I'll.
Mhm.
just
Y'all
look
wanna
over
table
it.
that's what I was saying.
those two?
Okay.
Table, so on a motion made by Ms. Reese and seconded by Mr. Skelton, I think they were talking, we will table item, we'll do it one at a time.
Item F.
Discussion F, so on a motion made and seconded, all those in favor of tabling this to the next council meeting? Opposed? Okay, let it show we're tabling the rental, Vigan at Wright Park. The same thing, feel like the same two will make the motion regarding Steel Creek Lodge rentals.
Yes.
Motion made, seconded. Motion made by Ms. Reese, seconded by Mr. Skelton, tabling G also to the following meeting. H, this is discussion, the forensic audit. Y'all asked about getting a price. I told y'all I would for the items we asked him specifically to look into in our audit. Robert Hedrick, he gave us an estimate of $4,800 to do that.
I'll put that in a motion.
Motion made by Mr. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Little. Proceed with the forensic audit for the specific items with Mr. Hedrick. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay, and those opposed. I has already been discussed tonight, so that's taken care of. The other things we had to do in resolution, moving to number 10, resolutions, ordinances, orders, and other business. A, resolution 2025-05-01. This is the appointing Mr. Tracy Robertson to fill a vacancy on the Board of Adjustments. I think we did it at the last meeting, but this is the resolution appointing him.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Mr. Phillips. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay, coming up soon, y'all know we have an election. So Resolution 2025-05-02, appointing Jessica Jones and Brittany Allen to perform the duties with respect to the municipal election to be held on August the 26th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Ms. Reese or Mr. Little. They both could be seconds on that. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Okay, Resolution C is going to be an executive session. That is Resolution 2025-05-03. And this will be regarding the appointment of the school board vacancy or appointment that's up at this point. And the council requested that we go into executive session to discuss the interview process that was held last night.
It'd be to the good name and character.
That would be to the good name and character, but we're gonna come back to that, so that's the reason I was gonna hold that to the end, Jay, but, okay. D, Resolution 2025-05-04, this is appointing Charles Harbin to the Water and Sewer Board of the city. He's already on that. Mr. Harbin in the back, if y'all got any questions.
I'll put that in a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Little and Mr. Skelton. Any discussion? All those in favor signify. Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Mr. Hartman, you're back on the board. Thank you for the work you've done on that, too. You've been very helpful. F, Resolution 2025-05-06, closing the 1 cent bank account. I think we've already explained that we had a large number of accounts, and the bond rating company asked why.
We did.
Recommended that we close a couple of accounts and not earmark those funds, but put them in general funds. So that's the reason that those resolution 05-06 and -05-07 were taken care of earlier in this meeting tonight. So we did vote on those, didn't we?
We got to vote on E, haven't we?
Yeah, voting week.
Did we? I thought we voted.
No, we
on-
didn't vote.
Okay, then 25-05-06, closing the 1 cent account. Can I get a motion?
Right above it.
We got F and G, we didn't do E.
Okay. Didn't do the vote, I'm sorry. I was getting ahead of myself on this, my notes down here, I scribbled on it. 25-05-05, National Safe Boating Week.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Ms. Reese. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we're moving to 06.
That's
We-
done.
We've done 06,
E08.
07.
07,
Where's the
now
packet?
08.
Where's the
08.
packet for 08? Grant funding from the Alabama.
It's at the very back before your ordinance, for the bond. It's the one that Sarpsey's doing for the, comprehensive plan.
I see the, sales tax. Did anybody else get the? I don't have any papers left. They're all the ones we talked about.
05-08, you don't have 05-08?
Does anybody else have
08, I don't see it.
05-08?
See it.
I'm passing it down now because it's due next week.
Okay.
If y'all pass it. So y'all can look at it.
0508 is a comprehensive plan that South Alabama Regional Planning, Ms. Piper we've been working with to look and see about making a strategic plan. It's, some of these plans and things that we do, we have to have in place in order to go for grant funding and planning. It's, as you well know, some of the funding we use for the Go Mesa stuff, all those things require that we put together a plan and that we have stuff, so it kind of falls into that type agreement. I think it's up to 100,000, it's a 50/50 grant if I remember it, but our part can be in kind of our participation in it. Y'all want to come back to it, or y'all want to read it?
No, I'm ready.
All right,
I'll
you
make a
wanna-
motion.
All right, motion
Approve
made.
resolution 2025-05-08.
Second.
I think Mr. Little's ready to keep moving. Resolution 2025-05-08, application for grant funding by the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. There was a motion made by Mr. Little, seconded by Mr. Phillips. All those in favor
Is there a
signify by-
discussion? Yes.
Okay, if there's discussion.
So if we're not in a position to be able to provide the 50, we can decline it.
We just won't do it.
Okay, so it's not like we're locked into providing 50 grand.
But most of it's in kind anyway, so it'll be my salary, whoever else helped, and then,
Okay, I'm good
Her
then.
salary, any of the others working on it, Dennis for the parks and all, I mean, that's, can be in there.
Okay.
Did we vote on that? Did you
Yes.
get it recorded? All in favor?
Oh.
Be good, it's done, okay. Ordinance 566I has already been taken care of. J, ordinance 515-2, that's amending ordinance 515.
We didn't vote on H, did we?
No, we didn't.
Never voted on it.
He
She
just,
said we did, I asked the clerk before we moved.
They made a motion
Y'all said
second,
aye.
we didn't vote.
Okay, go ahead,
We
Mayor.
didn't after she discussed it.
Okay.
We got interrupted.
Okay. Well, I think the motion was made by Mr. Little, and it was seconded by Jason, if I was right. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Okay. Now, if there is no further discussion, the motion is up for a vote. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Show that vote, motion passed. Now, as I said, I had moved on. I apologize to 566, number I.
So we did that one.
We've already done that one.
Now we're on sales tax.
Now we're on sales tax, which is amending 515, is all it's doing is changing the date to this year, which is amending the tax holiday that we have. We should have your information on that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Little.
You want them to suspend
Put
the rules?
ordinance, we gotta put 515 up for immediate adoption. We have to suspend the rules, and I think the same two would make the motion, Mr. Little, and seconded by Mr. Phillips. Is that correct?
Yep.
Councilmember Little?
Yes.
Councilmember Butler? Councilmember Skelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Reese?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Barlow?
Yes. Now, the same two would make the motion to put it up for immediate adoption. Mr. Little and Mr. Phillips, all agree? Okay. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Now, we have addressed everything according to my notes, although we were out of order tonight. I apologize, but I didn't know we were, have some of these things that kind of got added at the end. Is there any business y'all know that we need to address before our final executive session? If not, final thing tonight will be an executive session that we have put approximately 20-minute time limit on. That will be good name and character will be discussed, and we will be in executive session. It's 7:47, and so if I can get a roll call vote for executive session, somebody make the motion in a second, we will wrap this meeting up, hopefully.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made.
He said 20.
20.
Motion made by Mr. Skelton, seconded by Ms. Reese, that we go into executive session for approximately 20 minutes for the said reason. All those in favor, or you got a roll call, I'm sorry.
Councilmember Little?
Yes.
Councilmember Butler? Councilmember Skelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Reese?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Barlow?
Okay, now, we're in executive session for approximately 20 minutes. Y'all are welcome to stay. I don't know if you'll want to, but we'll just come back and adjourn at the end of that meeting.
We'll have to vote.
Yeah, we got to make the school board appointment, so if y'all want to stay, that will be done, and the meeting will be final. Thank you.